Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Good
Game.
Guys,
with your host, Dr.Captain.
hey, I'm Deg.
I am the loud kid.
And I'm the NPC.
And looks like we kind of ran into a last-minute snag right here. So I finally managed to update my computer to Windows 10. Hooray.
Right.
Sorta. Because apparently we can't do the simulcast now, at least up until maybe Nginx updates their system.
Well, that or you look into
well,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, until you do the research to figure it out, really.
pretty much. So,
It's like you always told me that you
There's
feel
always
like
a
you're
workaround.
forgetting something, and then it's assumed that stuff. Like it's always something I assume you'd already have done.
Mm-hmm.
that's how it works, man. It's like when you think you got everything, there's that one little nagging thing that's the most obvious that you forgot, but you can't remember what you forgot.
No, that only happens with you.
No, I'm pretty sure that happens out there with most people. Don't kid yourself. You're a victim of it too. Oh man. So anyway, yeah, sorry folks for that normally watch our show through Hitbox. All two of you.
Right.
But you gotta deal with Twitch this time around, and God, considering that the fucking Dota internationals are going on, good luck. Maybe you're just better
Right.
off watching us on YouTube. Where you can find us at Good Game Guys Show at our YouTube channel.
Right.
Anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and start kicking things off as usual. So, gentlemen, how have we been this week? Who wants to go first?
I will, because I haven't really been doing much of anything. Just, Final Fantasy 14. Getting a little irritated with the level of grind on the new expansion, Heaven's Ward. It is really like, wow, they really wanted to make it feel like a Korean MMO.
You mean it wasn't?
Previously it had like leanings, and now it's just full-fledged, like we can't afford actual content, so instead what we're going to do is
Had it
institute
with
grind.
experience points.
So yeah, that's kind of annoying. Also been doing the World of Warships thing. Battleships are lame, as it turns out.
Really? What suddenly
Yeah.
got this going?
It's more a matter of like, for a while I was playing with TKO, so I was basically stuck in a battleship because it was my highest tiered thing.
Right.
And then I started playing on my own and started thinking, I'm just gonna start playing with the other ship types. So I've been playing destroyers and cruisers and carriers, and I pretty much have everything at tier 5 now. And it's, I'm having way more fun with the Japanese, and to a point the US destroyers. I mean, they're completely different playstyles. I kind of like the Japanese destroyer a little bit more. And the cruisers, oh my god, the Kuma is a little beast. Like, I still have yet to unlock the Furutaka, which is the tier 5 Japanese cruiser.
Mm-hmm.
The tier 4 Japanese cruiser, holy crap, it's a beast.
Like how much so?
Well, okay, so it's got torpedoes on it, for
Okay.
one. So they have a 7-kilometer range, and they're fairly quick. It's got like seven guns that fire, depending on which side you're aiming down. And they reload every like 6 seconds. So it's basically like, let me just spray fire all over your deck. These it's not much. It's like these little 4 or 6-inch guns. It's like, all right, well then, here, let's just rain some explosives down on your deck and just blow everything up.
Right.
Oh, meanwhile, torps, it's all about the torpedoes.
You gonna tell us about your torpedoes?
Wilford Brimley,
Torpedoes.
I'm here to talk to you about torpedoes. It's good. It's fun. So Kuma's a little badass. The Minakaze is basically like, I don't know. The Japanese destroyers are kind of coward boats
Right.
because their torpedo range is longer than their detectability range. Like, you're not going to see me until you get within 5.9 kilometers. I'm firing torpedoes from 7 kilometers out. Or 10 with the upgrade, but it makes them a lot slower, so it's a lot harder to hit things.
Right.
It becomes more of a spray and pray. But it's fun. Like, if y'all haven't checked out World of Warships yet, go ahead and give it a shot. It's It's basically like a rock, paper, scissors Navy game.
And is basically the only good placement for a Navy game until World of Warships happens. Wow,
Until
I'm an
War
idiot.
Thunder happens.
Yes, thank you. War Thunder happens.
Yeah, yeah. War Thunder's talking about doing their naval stuff, but we have no idea when that's coming up. The last we heard was like over a year away.
You figure they probably jump on the ball to get on it a lot sooner since World of Warships is coming out.
Nah, it took them a long time to release War Thunder after World of Warplanes. I mean, like, World of Tanks came around, then World of Warplanes, and then War Thunder came around. It's like, alright, I think they're just gonna take their time and try to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, besides, what half-assed game are they going to look at to improve on if they aren't looking to release after the World of series?
Exactly.
I'm wondering if there's any place the World of series is even going to be able to go now after they got all 3 branches covered, at least vehicle. Like, are we finally going to start seeing some infantry action?
World
Well,
of cannon fodder.
maybe they're gonna take the World of Warstar and convert it to like World at War, where they combine all of them, maybe.
Ooh.
Because that's what War Thunder is effectively going to be doing. They're going to have a World at War mode,
Right.
Yeah.
and we have no idea how that's going to work, and I'm pretty sure that they still have no idea how that's going to work.
Permanent beta.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of speculation rolling around that, you know, if you're captaining an aircraft carrier, you're basically positioning all of these different players who are going to be flying the planes, etc.
So it's like leading a group in like Battlefield or something, where you can set waypoints for them and give them directions.
Well, except you're playing the landing pad.
That too, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just one speculation out there. None of these ideas have been confirmed or denied. So it's really like they're really leaving it open to speculation, but they're not giving us any real info.
Well, of course, because they want to listen to all the speculations first and figure out what sounds good and what's actually achievable.
Yeah, exactly. that's pretty much how I'm thinking about it.
Mhm.
But that's pretty much all I've been up to gaming wise. I'm trying to find something new to play with.
Well,
Maybe I can help with that.
I think, yeah, Dan maybe could be able to help with that, because that's a... Go ahead, tell us what you've been up to, man.
Yeah, aside from the Splatoon update, which I've been trying out the middle of this week, I've finally done it. After months of sitting in, I was able to get a free access key to the new Warhammer 40k MOBA game. Yeah,
They
sadly,
made a MOBA?
yeah, they're working on one right now. It's called Dark Nexus Arena.
Huh.
It's like right now during their alpha stages, they're only having play tests done during the weekends. But I was able to get a game in this morning, and I threw that up as my live commentary reaction onto our YouTube.
By
And
the way, adjust your recording volumes. That shit was clipping.
Ooh,
yeah, I'll
okay.
have to.
Yeah,
No,
we-
he meant on my video.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I said it in the video. I just popped into the game to record it. Didn't bother to try changing anything yet.
Right, but we couldn't hear you over the background sound.
Yeah, definitely gonna work on that for the next one, and definitely gonna work on bringing some friends in because they already gave me 3 more keys. Like, hey,
Yay.
congratulations, you played one whole game. Here, bring some friends.
That's
Hey, I'm a friend, aren't I?
Right?
Oh, I see how it is.
Right?
God, no fucking love here. I
Yeah,
guess
it'd be
I guess I
fun.
still have the audience.
It'd be fun to get a whole
You guys are my friends,
You'd be
right?
better off, you know, inviting Mr. Imperial Guard over here than me, the heretic Xeno.
But you can
There's
play
that.
the glorious ethereal with his honor blade and shit. Yeah,
Oh,
that
man.
guy was. No, actually, he was the one doing the worst. The freaking berserker that was kicking my ass in that game.
Wait, who said anything about Eldar?
I was talking about Tau.
Oh, okay.
Lol.
In any case, be fun to get a squad together. If not this weekend, the next weekend. Just try to figure out a good comp and learn how to play the game.
Yeah. To be fair, it's a MOBA that I'm actually kind of interested in, which is interesting because I typically hate the shit out of MOBAs.
Yeah, that really surprised me.
My main complaint about League of Legends was the control scheme.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you have some characters that do skill shots, and other ones just hit a button and everything homes in.
Yeah, this
In Dark Nexus, you control the character with WADs, and every single shot, including your basic shots, are skill shots.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm assuming you watched something about it.
I watched your video.
You watched something about it. Please tell me about this video you watched and how can people find it?
Really? Again? We just did that.
It's like,
You fucking shill.
yeah, I'm surprised you learned that much from that, because looking back, all I could really see was me dying and complaining about Grounder.
Dude, you spent 20 minutes complaining about how wonky the controls were.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to. I mean, I've played a twin-stick shooter. I mean, there was the Kill Team game that came out right before Space Marine, but I don't know if it's just I haven't played one on mouse and keyboard in a while, but it definitely takes some getting used to.
Fair enough. You also got to remember that I'm old enough to have grown up on games like Smash TV and Take No Prisoners and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, all right, that I could actually get my head around this one.
Yeah, it seems fun enough. I mean, it definitely needs to grow a lot. I mean, 8 characters and a lot of things are placeholder. It's got a while to go, but it's fun so far.
Right. It also means that if you're getting stomped, you're not just getting stomped because someone's a higher level or has a better build, but because they can aim. And that was always a crucial facet of League of Legends and shit that was just missing.
Yeah, in this game, if you're getting stomped, the game ends in like 10 minutes rather than dragging on for 40 minutes to an hour.
Right.
Sometimes 20 if you're really lucky.
Right. The point spread seems pretty cool too. Like if you're getting stomped, it's going to be a short game.
Yeah.
Then again, turning around and coming back will happen equally quickly, because the better you do in the game, the more you're worth for the other team to kill you.
Yeah.
So, like, if you guys regroup and all that and manage to start pushing back, you can take it back away rather quickly.
Yeah. The one point I don't think I touched on it in the video, but I found this interesting, is that the Kronos pylons, the tower things that were shooting all the neutral minions, apparently they're worth more points as time goes on. So you've got that strategy element of, do I want to take this tower down now and put more pressure on the enemy as we push in towards them, or do I save it and take it later to get the big victory point boost later on?
Right. The towers are also going to be more mini-boss-like, so if there's multiple players attacking the tower, it'll start doing AoEs and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, the longer the game goes, the more point value gets racked up. So it's basically like, you know, you can end up with a 10, 20-point tower.
Yeah. There's a lot of chance for comebacks when stuff like that happens, because, like you said, you know, people who are doing better are going to be worth more points. So, you know, and if you're falling behind and you've got the chance, you could either take a late tower, go into the jungle to farm up that for points, or, you know, team up on the MVP and steal like 20 victory points from him. That's it. We'll have to get in. I'll have to get on that and try it out this weekend.
Could be interesting. It could suck. I don't know.
We'll
Could be
definitely
cool.
find out your
Could
response on
totally
it
suck.
later on.
Sure.
Anyways, what about you guys?
River, how about you?
Played Pathfinder, played Smash Brothers, played Metal Slug Defense.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, for me, I had some real life issues. What was it? The refrigerator wound up breaking.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we had to like take out a whole bunch of food that went bad.
To be honest, that thing needed to be cleaned out anyways.
Yeah, I guess so.
There was a bunch of
That's a
stuff
fair
that's
assessment. There was a
been in
bunch
there
of stuff that was
forever.
bad already.
We've discovered new life in the refrigerator that day.
Kinda.
Okay, how bad was it? Was it Teen Titans bad, or was it that one episode of Cowboy Bebop where the lobster comes alive after sitting in the fridge for years?
Well, we didn't.
It was Weird Al bad.
Yeah,
Weird Al wrote a song about it bad.
Yeah, I know the song.
Yeah, we didn't have to jettison the fridge out into space, so I don't know if it's Cowboy Bebop bad. But it was kind of bad.
It was pretty bad. Like, you know that your fridge is bad when you're afraid to put a can of soda in it.
Yeah. But anyway, there's been that. Gaming wise, well, I just found out this morning that apparently our little sanctuary or hut that we have in Ark got raided. Yay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we lost about everything except for the dinosaurs.
So it's basically just a whole load of bad for you this week.
Oh, it really has been.
All right.
But there's a little shining light, because just yesterday, after getting a little money in the pocket after dealing with the car, I noticed a game on the early access that kind of caught my interest, and I suppose its premise really is it's an early access version of Fallout Shelter.
Interesting.
And the game is called Sheltered, and how it basically works out is that you're controlling a family, and you create your family.
That's what you were playing.
Yeah, you control your own family and such like that. Actually, a great way to describe it would be the gameplay is an awful lot like This War of Mine, where you definitely have like some management to go on with your home base, and in this particular instance, the Fallout Shelter that you find. But
the art style looks a lot like Gods Will Be Watching.
if I remember right, it's not so much Gods Will Be Watching. It kind of reminded me more of this other very old Sega game. Game Grumps did a thing on it.
Lol.
Dan, Mike Aruba.
Out of This World?
Thank you. Yeah, like the art style in that kind of reminded me an awful lot of Out of This World. So anyway, moving on, and it's kind of cool because you can create your own family and stuff. And they have different stats, strength, perception, all that stuff, which for the most part, as of current, seems to play out more in the outside world than it does like within. Like, you can still kind of build up your stats by continuously repairing stuff, which you do need to repair stuff. Like, you need to constantly put on your radiation suit and go out and fix your air filter and your water filter. There's supposed to be like a camper up on the top floor that you can get car parts for to eventually travel further out. And I've been kind of just enjoying it so far. I guess mostly because I do enjoy like base management. I think that's probably even more the appeal for XCOM for me. Like, I still enjoy the on mission stuff, but just base management, I can live with that.
Sure. Let me link you in Skype. Gods Will Be Watching, because it looks very similar.
Okay.
Without the base building portion. Like, it's very pixel art.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of Risk of Rain a little.
Yeah, I can see that too. So anyway, yeah, the game is $15 early access. They've just recently done their second patch after the game first came out with a little bit more content. And I think they're another company I got a good feeling they'll keep up to date with. I was already talking about like their next patch of content, and they're frequently asking people in their Steam discussion forums of ideas and such that would be good to have.
Well, it's good to know you're enjoying yourself now, because they've already got your money.
Yeah. I'm definitely enjoying it, and people, by all means, take a look. Be objective as much as you want about it. I understand early access, but sometimes you find some gems, and I say this could be one of them.
I'd rather wait for Fallout Shelter.
I think the gem related to this game is the top review.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Feed the bodies of your loved ones to the people mourning them in Catatonia Simulator 2015. 10 papers, please, out of 10 Fallout 2.
What?
I'm mad.
Yeah.
Bonus points for not having to murder half of the Wasteland's population to get by. Your characters actually feel remorse if they have to take a life.
They do, and I've had to have I've had to have the son go out and kill people because I made him a bully. Son, go fight my battles for me. Okay, Dad. Oh God, I feel bad about killing this person.
I'm so sad. Why did it have to come to this?
It's like, yeah, comedic Steam reviews are great, but a lot of times it's gone so far. Hence the reason that Sakura Clicker has an overwhelmingly positive rating, despite the fact that it's an incredibly featureless clicker game.
Right.
So, for those of you who have funny jokes to spout on Steam, choose wisely.
Fuck you, keep doing it. It's the only thing Steam is good for.
Please troll responsibly.
Oh man. So since we're talking about trolling now, and that's been my week, by the way, do we want to go ahead and start getting into our first little story we have involving like a prank on a Twitch stream?
Why not?
Okay.
So our first little story we have here, and by the way, folks, for the most part, we do have a bunch of Gamescom related stuff, but I figure it's a good idea to kind of get the non-related Gamescom stuff out of the way. So with that said, there was actually a prank on, who was it, Trick 2G's stream?
Well, he faked a SWAT attack,
Yeah.
is what he did.
And it was like humorous too. Like at a certain point, you could even tell because he's just laughing his ass off as he's being swatted.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, his account just got banned.
Right.
And the one thing that I've kind of thought fucked up was just the fact that this guy is actually just making a joke out of a well-known situation, mind you. In fact, actually, his team publicly has come out to say the following: to take that stream's ending serious is absurd. Trick was laughing, and the person used was not in disguise, and was the same person who was in the stream all day yesterday, setting up cameras and assisting on the stream.
Alright.
To even get to the last point of their quote, which I personally enjoyed, is that we don't have to always be politically correct to have a sense of humor, and we don't have to hide the fact that we think something is funny simply because someone might not.
Right.
Which I think definitely has been kind of the case, because you definitely get a lot of people out there that'll grab their fucking pitchforks to grab at you just for making a joke.
Mm.
Like, I'm sure we got someone after us just because we made fun of diabetes and torpedoes at the same time.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do we care?
Not really.
No, we don't. But they might.
Oh, Twitch, I invite you. Ban us. Give us the publicity. We'll go over to Hitbox like everybody else.
Yep. At the same time with this, it's like I understand the context. It may have been satire or comedic, but at the same time, I think the problem with it was just too soon. It's too contemporary of a thing to be joking about. I am sure a lot of people were reactionary just because of how contemporary it is. Swatting is still a big problem. And when people see the signs, they get worried. And
That doesn't mean that you're not allowed to make fun of it.
Yeah, it seems like Twitch is delaying this ban for 4 months, so we'll see how they rule on this.
Well, not necessarily just 4 months, because Twitch has openly said that the ban is not going to be permanent, and it shouldn't last as long as 4
it says
months.
It's not for 4 months, so I'm assuming that means he's not going to be banned immediately.
Yeah.
There is a now defunct message up on Reddit. The original message has been deleted, but it was a Twitch representative saying that the ban is not permanent, and it's also not for 4 months.
Yeah.
So that's already debunked.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit.
All in all, though, I think it's fucked up that the ban is even happening to begin with, and hey, by all means, I thought it was funny.
Sure. I mean, like, the whole video, they're laughing through it, so they thought it was funny as well. And, I mean, I don't understand what's going on with Twitch's unnecessary censorship lately.
Yeah. I can't, I don't know,
They're
I
taking
wasn't
a page out
there.
of Australia's book.
Right?
Maybe, like, I can't tell if it was either Twitch overreacting or the fans overreacting, because there are people who just don't get it because they're that thick. I mean, there was a case of Darkside Phil on Twitter bashing Mega 64's annual Game of the Year video they do, not realizing that it was satire.
Right.
He thought the whole thing was stupid and didn't get it.
Sure.
Oh,
But,
Dark
you
Side
know,
Phil.
We'll
And-
never know.
There are always going to be people out there that don't get it, but that doesn't mean that it has to be censored for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, that's why I'm saying I'm not sure if it was Twitch overreacting or people in the audience not getting that it was a joke and reporting something.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Like, I do kind of want to keep up to date and find out if there's going to be any more further development on this, but I wouldn't think so. Like, for the most part, it's kind of done and dealt with.
I want to keep abreast of what's going on here, but I'm not going to.
I didn't say I wasn't gonna. I'm just saying I don't think there's going to be. So our next thing that we have here, actually, so we mentioned earlier that the Dota stream or the international is going on. By the way, folks, if you're here
Is
right
it
now.
still?
Oh, yeah, it's still going on.
How long is this event?
Fucking A.
It's their
I don't care.
world championship, so I think it goes on for a good week or so.
But anyway, I just want to say to the folks that are listening to us right now, hey, thanks for listening in, and fuck Dota too.
Right.
But part of the thing that's been going on recently is that apparently the Dota international servers have actually been hit with a DDoS attack.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so apparently it's been reported that some of the matches haven't been able to finish because, again, fucking DDoS has been going on while the game is being transmitted over Twitch.
Fun.
Which, Dan, I think you kind of raised a question out of that.
Yeah, actually did some looking into this. Is that I think it's kind of weird that DDoS is happening during a tournament event. You're probably thinking to yourselves, why are they not using a local area connection on a private dedicated server to run these games? And the big problem with that is they have the local connections for the game. The problem is they have the Dota TV service still running online, which is a service that basically records any game you play in Dota 2 and it'll put it up on the Valve servers so people can watch your games in client. And
Right.
those were still active, and I guess there's a possible two-way connection, so somebody was throttling the Dota TV servers, which was causing packet loss in the actual games.
Wow.
Yeah, so-
That's so goofy. I mean, I don't mean to laugh really hard about it, but you got to remember
Yeah,
the
you do.
international, the Dota 2 championship here. The current prize pool is something like $18+ million.
Yep.
Like, this is a big thing,
Jesus.
and they haven't figured out how to protect themselves from DDoSs.
Yeah, Valve's allegedly working towards a fix for this.
They
we'll
better
see what
be.
Like, seems like, the best way to fix it would be make Dota TV's stream one-way stream so people can't affect the rest of the servers.
You would
Well,
honestly
they
just...
still could with enough requests. I mean,
Yeah.
that's sort of how a DDoS works. You send enough distributed requests, the server still has to say no to all of the requests. Still taking server time.
Yeah, the only other alternative is disabling the Dota TV service for these games, in which the only way people could watch then would be through the Twitch stream. They
Right.
wouldn't be able to watch it in clients.
Well, sure, but that would effectively DDoS Twitch just because it would be the bottleneck.
Which definitely is kind of the worry I had right now, with just having our stream only on Twitch.
Yep. Here's
Yeah,
my
it seems to be
question,
fine
though.
so far.
Yeah, hey, you guys are still here. Awesome.
Yeah, but here's my question. Do they do VODs for the international? I know you can watch them recorded through the Dota TV service, but do they have VODs up from their Twitch service? Or more importantly, doesn't Valve have YouTube that they could upload these to?
I know Valve does have a YouTube, so I don't know.
I'm sure there are tons of people that are posting it all up on YouTube anyway.
I mean, Jesus, just look up the internationals for League of Legends, and you'll find all sorts of people holding up, TSM and Cloud9 matches or whatever,
Right, and I mean, Valve themselves have a new streaming channel If you head over to dota2.com/watch, you'll get to see their new beta stream.
Anyway,
So they do have ways outside of watching it live.
so that kind of covers that situation going on with Dota.
All
And
right.
again, I want to thank everyone that, is still hanging out with us.
Right. Without you, we'd all be doing something else.
I'm not sure what that something else would be.
Probably more games.
Yeah, probably. So anyway, our next little story that we have here kind of goes back into Destiny. And
Boy.
yeah, we were having a hard time figuring out if we should say this during the Gamescom conversation, because it sort of like falls in that line where it
Yeah.
just barely happened
During the
before
week,
Gamescom.
There was a talk with the Bungie developers about Destiny's new expansion. The biggest news about it is that Dinklebot is no more. They've taken out all of the Peter Dinklage ghost lines from Destiny and replaced him with
it
Nolan
with the
Norman.
voice actor that is in every game ever.
Right. You know, a voice actor that actually knows how to do his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, like, for as awesome as Peter Dinklage is on Game of Thrones, the man can't voice act.
Yeah.
His portrayal of Ghost was very flat.
I'm
Like, he didn't understand the shit he was saying.
yeah.
I was actually kind of wondering, like, going through this, did they actually get Peter Dinklage to play Tyrion in the Game of Thrones game? Because I know Tyrion shows up in a couple episodes.
I believe so.
Well, I'm curious.
It's not really the same because it's scenes that he's already done for the
Okay.
most part with
Yeah,
a
that's
character
fair.
that he's familiar with.
Yeah.
So it's basically like, yeah, I'm this guy again. Okay, well that's easy. I know how to do that.
Yeah, this is floating robot cubes and wizards on the moon. It's a lot different from Game of Thrones.
It's really sad that this wound up happening to Peter Dinklage, but, what are you going to do?
Well, I wouldn't say it's really sad. I mean, like, he's gonna go ahead and cry all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
It's not that he's a bad actor. He's just a bad voice actor.
There is actually a difference between the two.
Yeah. Well, being a voice actor takes more imagination.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it also takes less finesse. You don't got to get like physically convincing. You just got to talk like you know what you're talking about.
Puma in the chat room was actually kind of challenging us, saying that we need to try saying that wizard came from the moon without sounding stupid.
In
I
what
want-
context? What's
want-
my motivation with this?
I want to take that challenge.
That wizard came from the moon.
Lol.
So yeah, it's a pretty
That
good
wizard came from the moon.
That wizard came from the moon.
That wizard came from the moon!
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a wizard from the moon.
Oh boy.
It does bring up a good point, though, is that behind every good or bad voice actor, there's also a good or bad voice director
Yeah.
who's
Yeah,
telling
that's-
them what
that's
to
very
feel,
true.
what to say, how to say it, what their motivation should be.
That
So-
definitely
That's
is.
true.
That's definitely like the earlier days of voice acting. Remember Resident Evil 1?
Oh god.
Stop! Don't open that door!
Well, that also reminds me of reading the interview with the voice actress who did Samus and Other M.
Another what?
Yeah, exactly. Or basically, she gave her reason for performing shitty as it was literally the voice director kept telling her to do it completely like monotone and not acting like how the character
Deadpan.
would act.
Well, not acting like an actual person would act anyway.
Yeah.
It almost seems like these roles are mostly just like narration. Do you think there could just be a difficulty being a voice actor that's just narrating?
I suppose so, but I mean, you also got to remember that the Ghost isn't just a robot. Like, I never understood it to be like this flat thing that didn't have any concept. I mean, it's got a concept of mortality. It has a concept of the end. Ghosts can die. So you would assume that as part of this AI, there is a little bit more emotional understanding behind it. It wouldn't just be on or off, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Moving
But-
right along.
Yeah, Dinklebot was just bad.
Yeah, whatever the reasons.
So we'll see how Nolan North takes things. Actually, I'm just kind of picturing just put a paper cutout of Nathan Drake on the Ghost.
Well, yeah, that's basically what we're gonna run into. It's gonna be Drakebot instead of fucking Dinklebot.
Anyway, so before we go ahead and start getting into the Gamescom, we have one last thing over here where Xbox basically is saying that they're not going to try and focus more on third-party exclusive deals,
All right.
which sounds awesome.
I mean, yeah, they had a couple, like especially with Tomb Raider. That was their biggest one this year. But
Sure.
yeah, they've said they're going to focus on their first-party lineup. You know, their Scalebound, Crackdown 3, their Quantum Break, Killer
Is
Instinct.
Recore exclusive.
All
as
right.
well?
Halo 5, Gears of War, Forza 6, Fable.
Yeah, they've got a big lineup
Wait,
waiting in
there's
their
actually being Fable happening.
Fable Legends.
Yeah, Fable Legends.
So yeah, so they're focused on bringing those games out and seeing them to fruition rather than closing exclusive contracts with third parties that say we get your game first and everyone else gets it a year later. You know, contrary to Sony's current model where they're getting play it first on PlayStation.
Right.
So,
Which
anyway.
I still stand as probably the one thing that hurt them the most with E3.
Yeah, I'm still kind of curious about the Xbox One now that Windows 10 is a thing. Because there are going to be apps available that are going to allow you to stream your Xbox games over to your PC. I'm wondering if it's going to be vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm wondering if they're going to pretty much try and compete with Steam OS and the Steam boxes.
Oh, I imagine they would have to.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I
They
mean,
wouldn't have to, but I'm curious to see.
Mhm.
You know, because I mean, if my PC can handle all of the processing and all of the data and then just run it out to the Xbox, then I have no need for any other game system. It's like I can play my PC games from my couch with a controller. Yeah, okay.
You'd give up the keyboard and mouse for a controller?
Depends
On
on
some
the game.
games,
Yeah.
like racing
Okay.
games, fighting games, that sort of stuff, you kind of
Yeah.
need a controller or
That's
a
true.
wheel or whatever.
I can't argue against that. Fuck.
we'll have to see
were
what
prepared.
happens though, because Windows 10 doesn't come to Xbox One until November.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see what they develop for that.
So, now let's go ahead and start getting into Gamescom. And there's been a couple announcements here and there.
A couple.
Yeah, a couple of good
Couple.
ones.
Just a few.
Just a couple, huh?
Yeah, just a couple.
So we're basically going to be done in what, like 10, 15 minutes?
Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll see how long we can drag them out.
Ha, 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 ha,
Ladies
ha,
and gentlemen, this is going to take a while.
ha, 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 ha.
So I figure our best bet right now is to maybe kind of get EA out of the way.
Yeah, why not?
That's always a good thing.
So, Battlefront. They actually showed off at Gamescom some gameplay trailer of how I don't want to say space battle, but
The
Ship
aerial
combat?
Yeah, ship combat.
They have aerial combat at least.
which kind of works out. Like, I was kind of getting into it just watching the trailer. Like,
Yeah, but that's what they do is they pump you up with this nice cinematic trailer.
Yeah, the details revealed were a lot less appealing to me. Because first off, you've got 10v10 ship battles, which, according to the release, includes AI bots.
Right. It's a new game mode. It's not
Yeah.
like this is included as part of the whole infantry / ships. Like, there's you only have ships to fight against in this mode.
Yeah, it's an entirely new module.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I'm not liking how it's shaping up, because what we know so far, 10v10 with bots, 2 ships per side, with the hero ships being a third available as a power-up. The only interesting feature that seems like it's non-standard is apparently in some way you'll be able to manipulate the power control on your ship so that you can divert more power at thrusters to gain speed or more power of the weapons for destructive power. No mention
Like
of
Star
shields
Trek?
though. Yeah. I want to know if I can buff the shields on my A-wing and just start dive bombing stuff.
Do
You know,
A-wings
we-
even have shields?
No. They were the fast ships that were just solely meant to be working on speed.
Like, as far as I recall, only like large things in Star Wars have shields.
Didn't the
Well-
Y-wing also have shields as well?
Yeah, but it was a relatively large ship.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
that is a bomber
In
for
the
you.
game
It's a
mode
large
itself,
bomber.
the X-Wing and TIE Fighter both have shields of some sort.
Oh yeah.
Weird.
No, I can believe it.
Yeah,
like,
that
there's
was
at least
some of the
kind of shield.
comments of. There's so many comments of, oh, I don't like the X-Wing having this, or I don't like the TIE Fighter having that, but it sounds cool.
Like, I don't. It's just. It doesn't fit with canon.
You know, to change the topic just a little bit, was anyone else kind of surprised by how good Mirror's Edge looked?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like I was still under the impression that was just gonna be like the back burner game.
No, I wasn't impressed. Because I kind of expected it to look that good.
I was kind of surprised. I was really expecting it to be just another rehash.
Mm-hmm.
Not from what we saw originally. At least for me.
Well, what we saw originally was just a cinematic trailer,
No, that
like
was
back
all
at
in
E3.
engine. They said that.
They can say that all they want. It's still EA, damn you.
Okay, but it's a different development team under EA.
Okay, fine.
Right.
To,
Right. Uh-huh.
to
Isn't
light,
it DICE?
Okay, but
Your argument's running thin, River.
hey, at least it isn't fucking Todd Howard or Molyneux saying this shit.
That would be the final nail on the coffin right there.
and the
Despite Todd Howard being a little bit more believable than Molyneux.
Tell
I
me
know, sort of.
lies, Tell me sweet little lies.
He's sort of out of toes to shoot off, so I wonder how next he's going to shoot himself in the foot. Oh, right, Fable Legends.
Mm,
Yep. Oh, on the lighter side, did either of you hear the hokey announcement for Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2?
No.
Did not.
don't care.
Yeah. Apparently, as part of a pre-order deal, you can unlock the new character, the Grass Effect Z7 mech suit.
Oh god.
Do
They
I
actually
care?
have a official BioWare assisted crossover with Mass Effect at this game.
Do we care?
That's ludicrous.
I thought it was funny. Other than that, I don't know.
Do I have to remind you about their E3 presentation where they tried getting people hyped up with Danger Zone?
Eh,
To be fair, that's pretty funny, though.
yeah.
That kind of was actually.
You know, the people I've talked to that have actually played the first Garden Warfare say it's fun. So,
Okay.
like, I'm assuming it's a harmless, entertaining little game. I'm not expecting much out of it.
Sure.
Right. Alrighty, so that kind of covers EA for the most part. You know, I think the other thing they mentioned was Unraveled, which, you know, you can't mention that game to me without me thinking of the dude just fumbling really bad on stage, and I continue to feel bad for that guy.
Lol.
Like, I hope he's seeking medical help or professional help.
I missed that.
Oh, I'll bring that one up for you. Oh, fuck.
Now, here's hoping they'll make a physical release version that comes with the Yarny doll.
Right. Oh, moving on. So, I think our next step was that we'll go ahead and start talking about Microsoft right now, which they came out fucking fists a-blazing.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, besides, you know, our obligatory Halo release for 5, I definitely didn't see Halo Wars 2 happening.
Mm.
Like, I never...
Yeah, that
I
was
thought
out of
that...
nowhere.
I thought they learned their lesson the first time.
Well, it sold decently, just not great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
the,
it sold enough for them to make a sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know plenty of people who really liked it,
yeah, not just any
but
sequel.
then again, they don't play any other RTSs.
Yeah,
This
see.
sequel is actually being headed by Creative Assembly, the people behind Total War.
Right. So that
Okay.
instantly makes it interesting for me, despite being a Halo title.
Same.
Yeah. Like, I think that's the biggest part of that announcement is they've got Creative Assembly on board. It's like I'm not a big fantasy fan, but I'm still waiting to see how they pull off Total War Warhammer. That's looking amazing.
I'm still upset that they didn't just call it Total Warhammer.
Well, they've come out and said that the fans can call it that, but they had to keep the Total War for branding purposes.
Well, of course. They couldn't have just tacked Hammer onto the end of it, because that would have been too easy.
Yeah. But a couple other titles that they managed to unveil over at their presentation as well was Crackdown 3, which I've always been kind of indifferent with the Crackdown series. Like,
It's Saints Row, but you play as a cop.
Yeah, it's
more than just
basically
that, actually.
a less good Saints Row.
yeah, but in this one they're actually trying to implement like skyscraper damage. Like you could destroy buildings essentially.
Yeah, this is one ambitious title.
So you can destroy the entire city. Does it ever come back?
I don't see why it
They're
wouldn't.
touting 100% destructible environments, as in not blowing things up in scripted events, but as in they showed
As
in
in
a
Red
demo.
Faction 2?
Yeah, pretty much, but on a
Wow.
larger scale. Like they
Does
showed
that
it.
destruction persist?
They didn't.
If
mention
I leave this city and go to a different city to go and do some other job and come back to this city, is this city still going to be leveled?
Yeah, they haven't. They didn't mention if it's persistent across the entire campaign.
I'm going with my
assuming not.
I'm going with my experience with Mercenaries because that was the first game I can think of to date that has explored that concept of destructible buildings. If it's going to be anything like that, they'll respawn eventually. Like, just leave the area and just come back later on. Or,
Especially
like, there's a
if
set time
something
limit.
quest related
Yeah.
or plot related. Like, how is that going to work out if you destroy a building that's going to be integral later on?
Yeah, the demo they showed off, they had the main character shoot bullet holes into a wall that you could see through enough to snipe through. Then he used a machine gun to cut bullet holes into that wall enough to make himself a doorway. Then proceeded to blow up that same building, which fell into another building, destroying it.
Huh.
Nice.
They're going to make all of this done through cloud computing. They're going to have Microsoft servers running these destructible environments in online multiplayer. Like, they said themselves that the demo they did to show off at Gamescom not only maxed the CPU on the Xbox One, but it also was using 11 different servers to handle the destruction.
Interesting.
They're saying if they have to, they'll have a separate server running each building.
Wow.
That concerns me a little bit. If one of those servers lags, you're gonna have some really disjointed looking shit.
They're dedicated to making this work. I want to see if they deliver.
Yeah, that's really ambitious.
Yeah.
That's Molyneux level ambitious.
Well, maybe they can make it happen with Microsoft Azure.
Well, as far as we know, Molyneux's name is not on it, so there's a little hope. Another title that they actually released during their press is a game called Scalebound, which, Dan, you and I both kind of cringed watching it, didn't we?
Oh, I
know I did.
chuckled that it's because I'm just looking at this. Yeah, it's developed by Platinum Games, made exclusive to Xbox One. But I
Oh,
see
boy.
the main character. I'm like, how did they recreate Dante from the DMC reboot? Strip away all the edginess, but still retain all the punk kid attitude.
Right?
So it's like a Saturday morning cartoon version?
It's like Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon and Dante had a baby. That's what you're getting out of this
I don't
game.
want to...
Getting hack and slash
consider
guns
this.
gameplay with a dragon you can control and ride.
Does that mean that Jay Baruchel's going to do the voice?
Oh, God.
I doubt it, but it would
Not
be
familiar
interesting.
with that name.
Oh, man. So, yeah, like I said, I kind of just cringed because I just got that huge Dante vibe
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't
But-
know about the lore or the story, but with Platinum Games behind it, the gameplay is going to be at least solid.
Oh, totally.
That's a given.
And the last thing that they managed to kind of reveal as well was Quantum Break, which we saw the gameplay footage of it, not so much the trailer.
They sort of
haven't heard anything about this.
revealed that like a couple of years ago, though. Like
Yeah.
Quantum Break has pretty much been in media blackout since the first announcement.
But at this point,
Well,
though,
there's
they've
a release date.
they've
apparently.
confirmed the release date is April 5th of next year, whereas Scalebound is coming out holiday of next year, and Crackdown 3, at least the multiplayer, is going to be available next summer.
All right.
And yeah, the thing that caught my eye in this is the cast they've got for the like they have the likenesses and voices of some
Sean
fairly big
Ashmore.
actors' names. You have Sean Ashmore playing the main character. You've got you've got Mary from Lord of the Rings, Dominic Monaghan playing a character. And I can't tell if he's the villain or just the central character, but you've got Aidan Gillen from Game of Thrones also on board, who I honestly recognize more as the CIA operative from the opening scene of The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm CIA.
Well, to be fair, anything that features both Dominic Monaghan and Aidan Gillen, I'm interested in. Meriadoc and Littlefinger, I could ship that.
Yeah,
You heard it now, folks. Ship that ship for Dag.
yeah, it looks interesting enough. I mean, the basic concept is time-bending third-person shooter.
Yeah, like it was definitely interesting, like some of the gameplay footage that they were showing off, where I was definitely getting that Max Payne kind of a vibe from it, but more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If it is along the lines of Max Payne and more,
I'm running.
I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play Max Payne 3?
I didn't play 3 yet, and I want to.
Oh my god. Play it. It's great.
Yeah, I just want to see some throwing knives being made available in the game. I can live out my Zawarudo fantasies.
You can't do that unless you can drop a what is it? Fucking pickup trip? No, it's not a pickup.
Even if it's a pre-order exclusive thing, I would pay into that. Just give me the throwing knives. Give me the photo negative effect. I don't even need the road roller. I'll be fine without it.
And your special taunt is "Ree!"
Wow.
Oh man. So let's see. Moving right along, that we have some Bethesda, but really when we say Bethesda, we're talking Fallout news.
That's really all that matters right now, considering the game's going to be out in another couple of months.
Fallout.
So, I don't know, do we want to get a little bit of the bad news out of the way first?
Might as well.
So, this is kind of bummer news, is
This
that
makes sense to me, though.
yeah, all right, but Fallout won't be supporting user mods this fall, like probably within the
When it
first
releases.
couple months of its life.
I'm
That's fine, though.
speculating- Yeah, it's probably because they want to wait until the console version
Yeah,
has
there's
the mod system up and running.
there's no speculation needed. They said that the Fallout 4 mod tools won't be available at launch because they're focusing on getting this game out this early to us.
Mhm.
They want to make sure the game works before they start tweaking around with the mod tools to get those out, which they've said will be out well into 2016.
Well,
So-
right.
They
and-
want to
and-
make sure the game works.
They're also trying to make sure that the
Bethesda.
user mods can be transported across PC and Xbox
Yeah.
One. So, like, if you get a
Yes.
mod on the PC, you can use the same thing on the
Yeah,
Xbox
it's
or whatever.
probably
So
part
that's-
of tweaking the API and make that work. They just want everything to just work.
Right.
Oh wow, Shayo in the chat room saying some fucking blasphemy right now. Fucking no longer a buy because no user mods for the first couple months? Dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? It's still Fallout.
Lol. No, that's okay. That's okay.
I want a Pit Boy.
We'll just tell her how it is. Like, yeah, Fallout 4. Great game. You should have jumped on it.
11 out of 10, it's okay, IGN.
But here's actually some of the good news when it comes to Fallout, and this is like the Hall of fucking Luya. There's no level cap, folks. There's no level cap.
Right, and the game doesn't end when the main story is over, so you can,
That's the
keep
bigger-
going and doing the side quest shit that you missed.
Yeah. You can keep
Yeah.
exploring your character and what they do after the story.
Which is kind of a spoiler alert. This means that in this Fallout, your character doesn't just go away /die
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, he could,
Sort
for
of.
all we know.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about hitting that level cap until the next expansion comes out. You can be ready when it comes and steamroll those whatever they throw
Dude,
in this
you
time.
can get all the perks.
Yes.
All of them.
Even the ones that counteract each other.
There's ones that counteract each other?
Yeah, there are a couple. I remember at least in like New Vegas, there was the final perks that basically restarted your reputation and your karma.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they're going to do that, though.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I also heard
If there's
this
no
week
level
that
cap?
they detailed the new special system and the way perks work in this game, but
Oh, they
I
went
don't-
into detail about that.
yeah, I don't know enough about Fallout's special
Shit, I
system
need to read
perks
on
or
that.
skills to really tell you what's different and what's good or bad about it.
Well, if it's different, that could be bad. That could be very bad.
It could also be good.
Potentially. I need to research this. I
Right?
didn't know they changed that.
I wasn't aware of this. I need to look it up as well. What changed? What do we need to fear now?
Google. Fallout
Well, maybe you can,
4.
maybe we can get back to that some other time.
special.
Until now, we've got more apologies from the games industry.
Yeah, okay, so with that
Paul.
said, we're going to move over to Blizzard, who has announced the new World of Warcraft expansion Legion, or as, you know, we've already been joking around with ourselves, we're sorry for Warlords of Draenei edition.
Right.
Huh?
As well you should be.
What?
Yeah, they're trying to get back their millions of subscribers that they've lost since Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor. They're down to, what, 5.6 million now. They're going to try to bring people back with this new expansion.
Which there are a couple things that seem kind of cool. Well, I say cool, but at the same time, so it's a little bit eye-rolling. Like the new Demon Hunter, which allows you to basically play as Illidan. Like, there's a mix of cool, but it's all like, oh god.
Yeah, you become part of Illidan's elite suicide squadron. It's a
Interesting.
demon hunter. It's kind of like how the Death Knight worked.
I thought the one thing that was interesting was how they were showing off the artifact weapons in the reveal trailer, where it seemed
Yeah.
like you could actually. I wasn't sure if it was a separate menu that showed off all the different types of artifact weapons, or if it was like you can modify the weapons themselves.
Artifact weapons, they're available through quests. There's one available for each different spec of class. So like every feral druid gets this specific weapon, etc. Yeah, and you can earn talent points as you use those those weapons that you can use to customize the stats on it that will, change the look of it in game.
Interesting.
So you basically have your own weapon that you can level up and spec alongside you.
Okay. I mean, I personally, I believe that the main reason that World of Warcraft kind of had a mass exodus of users, if you will, is because they just dumbed the game down without keeping it fun. They made it more accessible to the casual user.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at how people play MMOs and the type of people that play MMOs, the casual gamer is not typically MMO fair. Like, that is the wrong target audience. You're just alienating all of the people who did all of the work to make their characters as good as they possibly could by removing the ability to do just that and doing it for them.
Yeah.
Well, alright.
It's like, I haven't dusted this one off in a while, but it's the case of we want the Call of Duty audience.
Right. And that's fucking sad.
That never works out.
We don't want to play with the Call of Duty audience.
How the hell would the Call of Duty audience be able to transition into like a whole new game mode altogether?
It depends on whether or not we're talking about the lowest common denominator or people who just also happen to play Call of Duty.
Okay. I guess when I was thinking about it would be the lowest common denominator.
Because there are a number of people out there that only play Call of Duty.
Oh, I know them. I'm well aware they exist.
I'll never understand that. I'll never get it. there's so much variety out there, and they're locking themselves into this one rather stupid game.
Yeah. God help those souls.
But for the rest of them, it's no different than anyone else, really. It's like, yeah, well, I play that as well as all this different shit. And it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm. I guess one last thing to kind of touch up on from Blizzard is that they actually kind of said a bit more about their new game that was coming out, Overwatch. They really just only revealed 2 additional characters. It's a small tidbit of information for you folks.
Yeah. We still don't have any information about when the beta test is coming, let alone a release date for the official launch.
I do have a personal speculation on it, since if you folks do have a Battle.net account, when you log into it, you will see Overwatch in the games section. So I speculate it could be relatively soon. Take my word with a grain of salt, folks.
Could mean something, could mean nothing.
Fair enough.
Alrighty.
So I was looking into the Fallout 4 stuff.
Ooh, okay.
I'm slightly disgusted.
Are you?
They've completely gotten rid of the skill system from previous games.
They what?
Yeah. So now your intelligence changes how many experience points you get from stuff instead of giving you more skill points.
Well, then it also give you experience as well.
Yeah, it gave you a slight bonus to experience gained, but
they dumbed it down.
But now it's every level you gain 1 perk, and perks no longer have level or skill requirements, but a lot of them have rank requirements in each of the special categories.
I see.
So in other words, they pulled the Skyrim.
Well, your characters
they kind of pull the Skyrim.
Yeah. Oh.
The only cool thing I saw is that apparently you can sprint now, and it uses your action points.
Oh, okay. That was something they probably picked up from Project Nevada.
Finally, a use for action points aside from VATS.
Yeah. And, you know, the thing that Bethesda games really need, which is fucking sprinting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm curious. I want to see how they managed to do the whole non-skill system.
Well, there's a couple of descriptions here from stuff that's been revealed. Gun Nut requires at least 4 ranks in, I'm assuming either strength or agility. But it says also allows for the construction of weapon modifications and turrets. Hacker is one that I would assume not only allows you to hack stuff, but it also allows you to build personal terminals for probably your settlements and things like that.
Well, it's sort of starting to sound like there is a lot more emphasis placed on special. Like, the stats that you pick will only allow you to pick these particular perks that would work for those particular stats. So,
which sucks complete
yeah,
shit.
they made it way more cookie cutter.
I want to play an int 3 character that can fucking have science and a hacking of 100. It's like, what the hell?
Right. I want to be able to talk better to machines than I can with people.
This is severely limiting.
Very much so. That's kind of sad.
It is. I mean, you can do some cool stuff with it, but it is severely limiting.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how it boils down, because like most of the people I know that play Fallout pretty much typically go straight Munchkin with it.
But the completely getting rid of skills now.
Getting rid of your options doesn't seem like a good idea.
It makes sense. The dialogue wheel now. Your stats are not going to affect interaction with other people at all.
Okay.
I mean, okay, well, Lady Killer's still in there, so there might be some unique things for that, but it's going to be only perk-related stuff, it looks like.
Right. Yeah, right, but Lady Killer's going to be locked behind charisma, right?
Probably. It might not have a requirement, though. It sounds like some of them don't.
We'll have to see. I mean, the game's coming soon here.
Each of the perks requires a different value for the stat that they're under, from 1 to 10.
Fair enough. I mean, the game is definitely still a buy for me.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh yeah, I want to know the story.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens when the game launches and see how it all just works.
Story is whatever you make it, River.
Not anymore. They put a fucking voice on my character. Limited my role-playing options.
Don't be like that. You're not role-playing with anybody.
Myself.
It's like, don't worry.
You can
just
do that in the
works.
restroom. Talk to yourself in the shower and
Tell
shit.
me more lies, Todd Howard. God damn it.
Oh, God. Alrighty. So, moving right along. What is this? One of our last two things we have is from Square Enix, and I think this one caught your interest a bit more than mine did, Dan.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Apparently, the head director of Final Fantasy 15 is in talks with Avalanche Studios, the developers of Just Cause 3, to use some of their technology and code for Final Fantasy. Like, they're still in early talks, so nothing's been confirmed. But the director is saying he's really interested in the mechanics and tech of Just Cause 3, especially the verticality of the game.
Oh yeah.
Sure, that's the major thing that Just Cause does right.
Yeah. So
It's
we'll
like, hey, I'm gonna jump out of this airplane and I'm gonna shoot missiles at that other airplane. Then I'm going to wingsuit my way down to the ground without a loading screen.
yeah, we'll see what it means for Final Fantasy if this ever goes through. And maybe we'll get some sweet grappling hook action.
Just grapple hook that dragon over
Well,
there.
it's what it's going to inevitably cause is a delay in the release of the game.
Oh, no doubt.
Or it's just going to be used for, I don't know, some form of expansion.
Well, we have no idea. Have they even given a release date for Final Fantasy 15? It seems like another game they're just taking their sweet ass time with.
It was supposedly confirmed for 2016, but if they're going to be doing this in the primary game, then you're probably not going to see it till like 2017 at the very earliest. So, I mean, like, it's just more delays on a game that's already taken too fucking long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when it was Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Oh, man. So, anyway, here's our last thing, and this one definitely is added to my hype list. So 2K announced that Mafia 3 is going to be a thing.
All right. All right.
And I was totally there with Mafia 2. Mafia 1 definitely took a lot to try and get into.
Mafia 1 was okay.
Yep. But
It wasn't really good, but it wasn't bad.
2,
Mafia 2 was great.
yes. It was fucking amazing.
It
And
was great.
And the thing that just kind of gets me even more is just that the setting that they're placing Mafia 3 in. So they're changing things up. It's no longer in the 50s, maybe a decade later into the late 1960s.
Uh-huh.
You know, Vietnam time and shit.
Right.
In fact, that's actually the background of your character in this particular story, is that you're an ex-Vietnam vet. And the thing that really caught my interest more is that the area location is practically Nolans.
Oh boy. Nolans.
Nolans. Fuck you people that say New Orleans. It's Nolans.
Mm.
Yep.
So rum and po' boys for all, huh?
Yeah, new character does come with some criticisms, though. I mean, I've seen plenty of comments of, "So, oh my god, he's not Italian. I thought this was Mafia, not Saints Row. Why isn't he Italian?"
Get over yourself.
You know, people
Yeah.
who don't realize...
Implying the mafia is racist. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, people who don't realize that there's more than one Mafia out there.
Right.
Not to mention, it seems like the gameplay revolves around you're taking your revenge out against this mob in New Orleans.
Pretty much.
And a lot of the gameplay revolves around you having your own gang and getting them
Alright.
together to take down this mob. My
Well-
biggest concern, though, is saw the trailer and I couldn't shake the feeling that I've seen that character somewhere. Then it hit me. The main character looks a lot like Reggie Fils-Aimé to me.
Wow.
Who is...
The
president of
Nintendo.
Nintendo of America.
Ah,
The big man who says, "What's wrong with you?"
I see.
His
Yeah,
body is ready.
After me and Jason watched the trailer, I said, "It's like, and if you think you can mess with my family, what's wrong with you?"
Oh man, like, but regardless of Dan's little complaints right there, I'm hooked. Hell, you'll immediately get me hooked the second I hear Jimi Hendrix version of All Along the Watchtower. Like that's like one of my instant draws. So like, hello, and what are you doing today?
Lol.
Well, let's hope this is the first Vietnam era game that doesn't give in a temptation and use Fortunate Son.
You know it's gonna. We already heard All Along the Watchtower, and what was the other song it was playing?
Wasn't it like House of the Rising Sun.
I think
Is that
so.
what it's
Yeah.
called?
All right, I'm interested.
So I'm just saying, you know, Fortunate Son's gonna show up.
I'm hoping it's not, just for the sake of being original and contrarian.
But if Fortunate Son does show up, god damn it, you better have White Rabbit too. I'm just saying. Alrighty. So that kind of covers with most of the stuff that we kind of took interest in with Gamescom, and I think there's still stuff being announced right now, isn't it? It's still going on until Sunday.
I don't know if there are any more conferences, but the Gamescom event itself runs until Sunday. Yeah.
Right. So there's going to be quite a bit more info coming out of it, but it's all going to be piecemeal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's. I mean, I think this morning they had some stuff out about Metal Gear Solid 5. The frame rate and resolution have been confirmed across all platforms. Apparently.
Right. It
So-
actually runs in 1080p at 60 frames per second on the PS4, but it's
Yeah.
still going to look best on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got the last gen versions running 30 frames at 720p. Got the PS4 version running 60 frames at 1080p. Sadly, the Xbox One version is going to be 900p upscaled, but still 60 frames. Then you've got 4K resolution supported on the PC, but sadly, the frame rate's locked at 60.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a given.
60 is fine.
There's probably going to be a way to unlock it on the PC through initializations or configuration files.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so moving right along, and we'll probably skip out on phone calls tonight because we are kind of missing at least the two normal people that listen through Hitbox
Lol.
who do call
Unless
us,
somebody
unlike
wants
you
to
Twitch
call us.
We're
people.
also running close to
Yeah,
the time.
we kind of are. So we'll try to leave some room open next week for some calls. And yeah, Shayo, I really didn't want to bring that up. It's the fucking Silent Hill pachinko machine
Yeah.
that's happening now.
You remember the Castlevania pachinko machine from last week? They
Mm-hmm.
revealed one for Silent Hill.
Silent Hill 2 specifically, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just gotta refresh that brand a bit so Kojima and Del Toro can't even have any possible hope of purchasing the rights.
Yeah.
You know something? I think we can all agree on this. I'm gonna openly say it, and I encourage my fellow co-hosts to join me, and even the listeners. Fuck Konami.
Yeah. Like,
Spell that
I don't have
hashtag.
any problem with them pulling, a Kickstarter for, what did I make the joke about before? Quiet Mountain.
Yeah, Quiet Mountain.
Like, they want to do something that's Silent Hills-esque, but more the flavor of both of them, then all power to them.
Yeah. Anyway, so we do have our end story here, and this is probably something that makes me a little bit more happy. And maybe those people that didn't have a chance to get the Pip-Boy edition.
Right?
So, I guess this kind of goes out more to the people that probably wasted... well, I don't know if I want to say wasted money because they're actually winning right now. But the people that went ahead and bought 3D printers.
Winning.
So, the Pip-Boy from the Fallout Pip-Boy edition blueprint is actually released to be printed on your 3D printer.
Mm-hmm.
And now I tried looking this up before the show, trying to see if there was like a service where you could just, ask someone to 3D print it, because I imagine while you could do it at home with your home 3D printer, I imagine the quality would just be better if you straight up, went to a professional, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's really gonna depend on what type of 3D printer you built or purchased.
True enough, and I'm going to be the first to admit I don't know shit when it comes to 3D printers. I just think they're cool.
Same.
And I've often contemplated if I should just consider using one for Warhammer figures.
Lol.
That would probably be more expensive than just buying the fucking figures.
That depends on over what course of time.
True. If
How many figures you're getting.
yeah,
Slash, bootlegging,
I
if you
didn't
will.
speak too soon.
It also depends how much of the sprues you're wanting to copy.
Yeah.
'Cause they do offer a lot of parts for customization. If you want bare bones, yeah, it's going to be cheap as fuck.
That's
Right.
true, yeah.
But, like, actual customization that nobody else has
Yeah.
could be interesting for flavor.
But in any case, still, this is fucking awesome. Folks with the 3D printer, you lucky bastards. I'll be coming over soon.
Lol. I'm coming to your house. I know where you live.
Oh, man. God, I still don't even have a smartphone to put in that fucking thing anyway.
Right? I mean, like, it's kind of pathetic how bad you want one of those when you can't use it.
Who said I couldn't use it? I could just wear it. I just wouldn't have the screen.
What? That right there is pathetic.
Little.
Man, y'all just jealous.
There's nothing to be jealous about.
Right? I actually have a smartphone that would slot into that.
Fuck you. Oh,
It's
man.
like, yeah, it's a nice Pip-Boy, but can it play Fallout Shelter?
Yes.
Lol.
That's the point.
Oh, man.
Oh, his wouldn't.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Not yet.
No.
Someday.
Still waiting another month for that to come out.
Yeah.
Isn't it the end of this month?
Is it?
That was the last I
We
heard.
had
I've
a
heard
date
rumors.
That was something about. No, there was a confirmed date sometime in August. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I don't
They announced
recall.
it.
Anyway, so that kind of does it for tonight's show. And again, folks, thanks
That's
for...
it?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
We don't have anything else?
No, not really. Why?
Fill
Did you
the
have
last 5 minutes?
Did you have something you want to say?
Not that I can think of.
Because for now, I mean, well, doesn't look like there's much people that are willing to kind of go on the conversations that we have right now.
Ah, is there
Jesus Christ, don't ever do that again.
Is there
Love it.
anything else from from Gamescom that you were excited about?
Really, that kind of wraps it up. Like, I was excited to see some screenshots of XCOM, or at least XCOM 2, rather, for people that maybe didn't realize there's an XCOM 2. I don't know
Right.
why. But yeah, it was kind of cool, like, actually seeing, like, more activities within the base itself, but, I don't know if that's really something worth talking about.
Nah. Nah, let's just cut it.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Alright.
folks, thanks for tuning in. You can go ahead and keep up to date with us on our Facebook page, where we will be posting up some of the stories that didn't quite make it to tonight's show.
Nothing too big.
I'm almost kind of contemplating we should maybe look into maybe you and me could do like a side show on the weekends called the Cutting Room Floor. We could just get
Lol.
into the smaller shit.
Yeah, like a 5-minute video.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Just blasting through shit. That's not a bad idea, because not a lot of people have, an hour and a half to listen to this.
Pretty much. So, I mean, look forward to that. I'm just spitballing ideas to River. But anyway, yeah, so be sure to head over to our Facebook page, A Good Game Guys Show, to check out some of the stories that we just didn't put up on here. You can also follow us on our Twitter page that we swear to God is just there for some reason.
Right.
At Good
I mean,
Game
there's
Guys
nothing
1.
to really see there. We don't spam anything. When was the last Twitter post? Like a month ago?
I want to think so.
So, like, feel free to follow us, even though we never say anything.
Yeah,
think
that,
Just
I
for
think
that,
it- I
just
think
for
it
that
was-
one time when we drop like nuggets of awesome.
I think the last time we used Twitter was when I updated it to let people know that the show wasn't happening. When you guys ran that anime stuff.
That was the last Twitter post.
yeah, I just assumed you just had Twitter bought so that it uploads a post every time we go on.
See, that we should look into doing that.
How
would
we
make
enable
sense.
that?
Doesn't Twitch have an option in the
Yeah.
settings to do that automatically?
Well, I was also thinking something that just parrots like our Facebook posts to Twitter too. That might work.
Twit longer.
Yeah. Also, you can follow us over on our Hitbox page, our Hitbox account, which again we didn't have working today. Sorry, folks.
Right.
We'll try and get that up and running this coming week, provided Windows 10 will allow us.
Hey, get to work on that.
Cortana, activate.
Lol. You
Cortana.
turned that shit off. That was your problem.
Shit.
Cortana. Bing search Cortana Rule 34.
Oh Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
God.
Shut
Link.
up.
Hey,
Download everything you see. Put it
Wow,
into a
River.
file called "I'm a Dirty Little Slut."
I'm so glad I have it off right now.
Anon, why are you doing this to me?
Oh God. Oh, dude, I just thought of something even more worse right now. Someone listening is listening on their speakers right now, and they have Cortana on, and Cortana just did that.
They're probably sitting there at their desk like, "Stop it, Cortana."
It's gonna be like that Xbox One commercial
Just jamming
fiasco all over again.
escape.
Oh God.
Yeah, you guys remember that fiasco? The Kinect commercial with what's his name from Breaking Bad?
Oh right, Jesse.
Those old commercials, they had a problem where it was making people's Xboxes react because they were watching it. And you said, Xbox, turn on, or whatever.
Wow.
Oh man. So yeah, if you're that one guy who has Cortana downloading porn right now, you should totally leave a comment on our YouTube channel on this very
No.
video
No.
saying "fuck you" to River.
Say nothing. Just let it happen. Bask in it.
Oh baby.
and be sure to hit that like button, that thumbs up button right there, as well as subscribe to the channel, because we might make Cortana do something else that you'll enjoy.
Can we just throw in, like, every once in a while, Cortana do something in the middle of our show?
We should do that.
Can we leave now? Can
yeah,
we go?
yeah. Let's go ahead and get out of here. So, with that said, be sure to hit the follow, the like, subscribe, all that little jazz. And with that said, this is Dr. Captain.
I'm dead.
I'm the Loud Kid.
And I'm the NPC.
And this is everyone here at the Good Game Guys telling Cortana, download the internet.
Wow. Fail.
Just do it.
Hey, Cortana,
for
can
you.
you mute